and I think this flows really well. The question was, how should you choose your tool stack when starting an agency?
Convert, obviously. No, joking. I had to just throw it out there. We use Convert now. I did
That's
not use
actually the
Convert.
wrong answer.
So we use Convert now, and that's how I found you guys, obviously. But we did not use Convert. Like we couldn't
No.
afford it right away. Like that's not the right thing to use. And then that goes into some of my initial slides is like start like so besides our testing tool, everything we use is free. Google Analytics, Tag Manager, Data Studio. Like we could pay for Tableau. We don't need to. But we started out, everything was Google basically. We use Google Optimize and
Mm-hmm.
it works great.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to my statement on knowing your value of time. The like I know that if it would take me longer than 2 hours to do something in Google Optimize nowadays than Convert, I'd be losing money. So we use Convert because you can set 3 goals in Google Optimize and you can't integrate, it just would take longer
Mm-hmm.
to do things. And
Mm-hmm.
so but when you're starting out, like I would use Google Optimize because we read all the documentation kind of thing. That's what we like. That's how I learned Google Analytics is just being
Mm-hmm.
really clear.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, once you learn the tools like Google Analytics, it can do just as much as any other tool can do. You just have to know how to use it. So I'm less
Mm-hmm.
focused on the tool itself, but more on your aptitude and ability to use it. Same goes with like Microsoft Clarity as like a heat mapping and video recording tool.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's raving about it, and I've used it a little bit, but it's faster for us to integrate. And like
Mm-hmm.
obviously we use Convert and be able to tag something quickly into
Mm-hmm.
Hotjar. And we also
Mm-hmm.
use Zuko for form recording. So like
Mm-hmm.
we can really quickly talk with other tools without having
Mm-hmm.
to code things, right? That's just
Mm-hmm.
so it's literally a button click.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Clarity and Optimize, they don't talk well enough together. And it's something, I mean, ultimately, it's going to be a matter of time before Clarity, you have to pay for it. I mean, that's just a fact, unless they're
Right.
something we don't know. But I prefer to pay for tools because I get support. If I had a question on how to set up Google
That's a
Optimized or
great
Clarity,
point.
I'm not going to get support on that. I'm going to have to just Google my way to my answer or pay someone else to help me with it, kind of a thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something to take into consideration too. So we use Hotjar we don't honestly use like we'll use heat maps on complicated tests for like menu tests and things where like you could set events in GA, but the analysis is so much easier in a heat map. We rarely use video recordings. We use a lot of answer pops,
Mm-hmm.
scroll pops, exit intent and open form answers of like, what's the one thing keeping you from signing up today or something like that. So we
Mm-hmm.
use Hotjar for things like that for qualitative research as well.
Mm-hmm.
Zuko I mentioned
Mm-hmm.
is for form analysis. We have a financial client with lots of forms. Again, you can just because you can do it in GA doesn't mean you should.
Should.
It's
Yeah.
right. Like setting the
Oh,
events
it's
is
free. This is great. Yeah. I,
right.
I, I love, yeah.
Unless you're Simo Ohava and know how to like be a ninja to the nth degree with like, I mean, analytics and the analysis gets to be really fuzzy really fast. And so Zuko's a great, used to be called for me Simo, but Zuko's a great example of like, it's just so much more fast to pay them to have great form analytics. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about a
Mm-hmm.
niche, right? Like that's all they do is form analytics, right?
Yeah.
So.